Welcome back. Now, although Zapier gives you access to its scheduling app, you can also do automations with Google Calendar. And Google Calendar can be both a trigger, an action, and it can actually conduct searches. So in order to illustrate the kind of automation you can create, we're going to look for the productivity app Trello. And Trello provides a good example because we can see both sides of the Google Calendar action. For example, we can use Google Calendar as a trigger. We can also use Google Calendar as the action. So for this video, we're going to use Google Calendar as the trigger, and we're going to choose this Zap. And what we're going to start by doing is create this Zap. Again, the event on Google Calendar is going to be the trigger. We're going to click Continue. And then we're going to select a Google Calendar account. We're going to allow Zapier to manage our Google Calendar and click the Allow button. And then we're going to click Save and Continue. What we're going to do now is we're going to select a specific calendar. And then we're going to click Continue. Now, in order to test out the application, we're going to make sure that we have at least one recent event created. So we're going to create an event and click Save. And then we're going to go back to Zapier. We'll then click Fetch and Continue. We'll then verify that our test is successful. We then click Continue. And then we're going to move on to the part of the action where we begin to work with Trello. And we're going to create a card in Trello. We're going to test our Trello board connection. Once we verify that it works, we're going to click Save and Continue. And then we're going to choose a board within our Trello account. We're then going to choose a list within that board. We then want to look at our advanced options. Now, all of these give us additional options within Trello. We're now going to click Continue, and we're now going to send the test to Trello. Once the test is successful, we'll then click Finish. We have verified that our app is working. What we want to do now is we want to go to Trello. And we can see now that our card is created. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In one of its advanced operations, Zapier has an SMS system. If you type in SMS, you should find SMS by Zapier. You're going to select it. And then scroll all the way to the bottom so that you can see the app details. So the SMS system is a little different in that there are always going to be actions. So in other words, the app will always be the trigger and the SMS will always be the action. And Zapier is actually creating the SMS text for you. So to illustrate what kind of automations you can build, we're going to take a look at the Calendar app. And you'll see that Zapier will allow us two kinds of operations. One, we can get an SMS alert for any approaching Google Calendar event. We can also get an SMS alert for new Google Calendar events. We are going to work with the new calendar events, so we're going to click Use this Zap. When we come to the explanation page, we're going to click Create this Zap. Now the trigger is going to be something that happens on your Google Calendar. So now we're going to click Continue. We're going to test our connection. Once we verify it has been successful, we're going to click Save and Continue. So we're going to choose a calendar, and we will choose the video production calendar, and then click Continue. Once we verified that we have one event created and that it matches the trigger options, we're then going to click Fetch and Continue. Our test is then successful, so now we're going to click Continue. So every event is going to trigger an SMS to a number. So now we're going to click Continue. And we're going to connect an SMS by Zapier account. We need to tell Zapier the SMS number that we need to put in. And if we like, we can put in a confirmation number also. And we're also going to send an SMS PIN. Now when you submit, you will get a confirmation code. and you'll enter that confirmation code where it says confirm PIN. And then you'll click Yes, Continue. Now once you've gone through that stage, you will then click the Test button. And then once the success test has been verified, you'll then click Save and Continue. Zapier will then show you what your text message will look like. You'll then click Continue. We'll then send the test by SMS to Zapier. And then we'll click Finish. And then we should have received our text message from Zapier. So that means then that your system is now set up so that every time there is a new event on your Google Calendar, you will then be sent a text message through Zapier. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We're now going to demonstrate another SMS automation. And in particular, we're going to work with Zapier SMS and Google Drive. Now we're going to choose to get an SMS alert every time there's a new file on Google Drive. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click this zap. And we get to the explanation screen, we're going to click Create this zap. And this time the trigger is going to be a file is added in any folder in Google Drive. So we're now going to click Continue. We're going to then test our account. Once we have verified our test is successful, we're then going to click Save and Continue. We're now going to set up our Google Drive file. We can use the advanced options if we need them. Otherwise, we're going to click Continue. Zapier will verify that you have at least one file in your Google Drive, so we'll then click Fetch and Continue. Our test is successful, so then we'll click Continue. Now that we've created the trigger, we're now going to create the SMS message. We're then going to click Continue. We're going to test our SMS by clicking Test. Once we verify that there's been success, we'll then click Save and Continue. So Zapier is going to test the system by looking at the most recent file that has been added, and we have a message going out to our mobile device through SMS. We're now going to click Continue. And once we're at the test screen, we're going to send the test by SMS. And now our Zap is turned on, so that every time a new file is added to Google Drive, we will then get an SMS message. I'm going to verify the process by looking at the actual text message. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.